All right, all right. Hey, welcome back. All right, so Leos, let's jump in. I'm going to use a different deck than I just did a Libra video, but I'm going to use a different deck than I did for them, but I'm still going to ask the same question. What is the message from the universe for right now? Time to go, time to jump. We have the Fool. It's a little bit tilted, but this is exciting. This feels like it's portal time, it's vortex time. Why is this Leo? What are they about to do? Leo's about to do something brave, something exciting. Two of Swords, but this Two of Swords always hits more like a Two of Wands to me because we've got two different doors. So something that the Leo does next is going to be very important. What they say, how they react, what choice they make is really important. Now, it could be something as literal as which door they walk through. Like say we've got a dental appointment in a building that has a lot of different suites in it, and they think they're going to whatever 124A, but 124B is on the second floor or something. So walking into the wrong door, who knows? Who knows? They walk into a different building and maybe they meet the love of their life. Maybe they leave somebody their number, which is totally unexpected because it's just such a strange, like, wow, this isn't the room I was supposed to be in, but can you point me in the direction I need to go? Okay, thanks. Hey, by the way, I'm going to leave you my number because there must have been a reason that I bumped into you and you're really gorgeous or you're really handsome. It could be something like that, like an unexpected thing occurs. Sometimes the wrong door is the right door after all. But it could be something as literal as the Leo needs to, maybe there is a neon sign in green and a neon sign in blue, and they're going to have to decide blue or green, which is my preferred choice. Green would be one of growth, nurturing, healing, and money. Blue is one of wisdom, sometimes royalty. So which choice would they take? If it's a choice between two different items that are two different colors, which choice is our Leo going to make? We see that either way, we've got an angel feather. It almost seems like, although this is a moment where Leo's going to have to do something, they're going to have to do something brave, they're going to have to make a decision. What they don't know is either route is kind of like a blessing from the universe, because we've got the messengers, the angel feathers here on either door or in front of either door. But I would say the doors are not the same, right? They're not oriented in exactly the same because they're, one's on the right, one's on the left, and the colors are different. That could be significant for a character. Before they leap, they may need to ask themselves, I hate 50-50 choices, by the way. I will always get it wrong. If I can go right or left, like when I'm driving, if I think about it, I'll get it wrong. If I just go with my instinct, I get it right. That could be what this is. Use instinct to make a decision for our character. But it's a choice between two different things, two different reactions, or two different locations. We have the keys to both doors hanging right here on the wall between them. Oh, Leos, what is this choice going to be about? Two of Swords is usually about blocking something. We have Spirit of Pentacles and we have the Star. Either way, we have an amazing, it's all about wishes that come true, goals, and possibly money. For Leo, this could be not anything to do with like love and romance, but this could be choices they're about to make will lead them to two different avenues. It seems like they can only have one, but they have two different avenues that would bring them to great wish fulfillment, where their life flows like a freaking waterfall, or they have great fertility and growth. So on one hand, things flow into them. On the other hand, things grow and there's a ton of fertility. So there's like endless growth. Here's the one thing I would say. Oh, and look, blue and green. God, am I slow on the pickup sometimes or what? Hi, Ruth. Hi, May. I feel like sometimes I am so embarrassed of my own brain because I do these publicly and there's no way for me to like edit them. So we have blue and green, and then it takes me like 5 minutes to recognize blue and green. I'm sure people were looking at me screaming, Kate, notice the obvious. Janelle, thank you, Angel. You are so generous. Thank you so much for that donation. Thank you, sweetheart. Here's the thing. If I had to pick, though, we're choosing between a queen, which is fantastic in the hierarchy of the court cards, right? The only thing above it would be an emperor and empress. Or we have a major arcana. Now, to me, major arcanas are above the court cards. But when I say above, it's like they are different. It's now like we'd be comparing apples and oranges. It's not quite the same. It's above, but in a whole different way. The way, let's say, the way a chunk of fudge weighs a lot more because it's super dense and is really sweet. But on the other hand, a treat that's made like with stevia could actually taste just as sweet, but could be as light as meringue. So it's like you're comparing two different things with two different sweeteners. One's chocolate, one's meringue. They are equally as sweet in different ways. It's really hard to tell. So it's really like, which of these two amazing outcomes would Leo prefer to have? Now, to me, because blue, as I said, was like wisdom and royalty sometimes, and green is like healing and oftentimes growth and money, I'm going to say the star can also put somebody in the public eye. So if Leo's about to do something, they either might be about to invest in, take an action, we'll say, that could make them famous, and that could bring them money, and yet that'll come with a cost, right? Even a wish fulfillment, they could go, think of it like this. Being a star, being in front of everyone, can also distance ourselves from people, right? Because now it's like, but I'm a star, I'm famous. I don't know. I have my old friends that I trust who knew me before I was famous, but now if they new people meet me while I'm famous, maybe there will always be a worry, like, do they really like me, or are they looking for somebody who's famous? That could create some distance. Even though they could be beloved by many, there could be a little bit of a gap between who they trust. But it looks like if they chose this, their stardom would be massive. Now, on the other hand, they could choose perhaps a more humble career path or something, a more humble option through the green door. And it could be one where they work and they create a ton of abundance, and they're not up here in the sky, in the night sky, shining like a star. They're not famous. There's somebody that works in their local environment, but they wind up creating like a really strong foundation. Maybe they can sell their business multiple times over, franchise. They're the CEO, but maybe they have the luxury of still remaining someone that has their kind of anonymous aspect. They only basically they keep their feet on the ground versus being way up here in the night sky. So which path does Leo want? They're going to have to probably think about this, because their next actions, according to this message from the universe, the next actions could set them on a course. Now, either course will have beautiful things. Either course Leo is prepared for. They'll excel in either. They'll be satisfied in either, but they would be different lives. So this Leo's going to have to choose. Tell me, what is it that might make them famous? Three of Pentacles and something about the present. Maybe somebody's going to have a succulent business. Maybe something out in the desert. You notice how this is working together, collaborating with others, but this says present moment, and this is that Three of Pentacles. The thing that could make them famous would be they may already be starting to collaborate with someone. This could be a person who they open a business with someone else, and that business becomes super famous. They could use a skill set that they currently have, and they just randomly jump into something, whatever. My friends have a band, and they say, hey, we need a lead singer. And so whatever, our Leo starts being their lead singer, and then guess what? It gets super famous practically overnight. It goes viral. It could be something like that. But that would be in connection with somebody else. There's an architecture here that it almost feels like it would be very sudden, and it feels like it would be something where it's skill sets Leo already possesses. And I say this because the succulent aspect, succulents hold a bunch of water in their leaves already. So it's Leo has a ton of life experience. It would translate really well. Leo might be invited or asked to join somebody's group or join something because they already possess the skills, and that could be the thing that leads them to stardom. Now, how about the opposite avenue, the green door? What about that Queen of Pentacles avenue? What is it that is comprised of? We've got the action of Pentacles in the reverse, and we've got the action of Cups sideways. Well, those are both knights. Again, this is all very rapid. It's very imminent. There's no waiting time. So that makes sense because a Fool card is like a big old jump. This could be like tomorrow. Every day we could say is the first day of the rest of our lives. Every moment is the next. That was the first breath of the rest of my life, right? There it is again, because I just keep moving the clock forward, right? But sorry, my asthma is really bugging me right now. So my breathing is off pattern anyway. This is sudden. Both of these avenues say it's going to come on fast. Are Leos probably going to just find themselves in a situation where there's no waiting, there's no time to really think. The action that they take is what puts them on a pathway. But it's interesting because this pathway is not, it's not clear. It's not something that they would necessarily have been able to say, oh, I've dreamed of this. Oh, that sounds wonderful. This feels like it comes up upon them swiftly. It is not their wish fulfillment. It is not something that they could have anticipated. Maybe it's something that they kind of enjoy doing. Maybe this is a situation where this feels like it's all about, something that's going to change Leo's life. And we seem to be talking about wealth in particular. This Leo is headed for a wealthy life. How they have that wealth, though, is so interesting because this other avenue, the green door, it almost feels like they stumble into it. Not that they're invited in, not that they have the choice to make, but it's almost like it suddenly presents itself and the Leo is like, well, I mean, that doesn't sound like the worst thing. I could give that a whirl. But I think it's something that they never necessarily envisioned. This could be the thing that a character stumbles onto and then discovers like that they're very talented at something. This could be a situation that they didn't know anything about. They never knew that they could fall in love with this life, and it could be super, satisfying because they just didn't really picture themselves doing that. This situation, they already have the skill set. So if Leo gets invited to do something that utilizes a skill set that they already have, it's really not a big shock that they could become famous in it because they probably already have like a ton of background in it. This is like a hidden natural talent that they never really considered that they'd be the ones doing this. So on one hand, it's interesting how that makes sense though for the green door, because the green door aspect is about growth. It's something that they would not have really expected. Whereas the blue door being wisdom and royalty, I could see how this Leo already has a ton of skills. They already are at the upper echelon. They just really hadn't like shown that skill set before. It's just something that they've already developed within themselves. The other is something that they'll grow into. What is the advice here? Because this still feels like mysterious and awesome, but I really like the fact that we have such a kind of momentous time up ahead. The message from the universe. We have 7 of Swords sideways. We have the 9 of coins, 7 of Swords upright, and the 9 of coins sideways. Okay, so this is an interesting one. This says the Leo is lying to themselves if they think that this is as good as it's going to get, or this is as far as they can take it, that they're, I'm moderately successful. I have some skills, but, that's about, it's probably the level that I'll live my life at. BS meter comes in. Not only that, but the universe is saying, oh, Leo, shuppy. And by the way, I can't remember. I have a big family, and my mom said one of us used to say shuppy instead of shut up. That was the best way we knew how to say it when we were little. I don't think it was me, as sassy as I am. I'll have to ask her which one of us it was, but shuppy. And I feel like the universe is saying shuppy, Leo. That is not true. You know darn well You're meant to do more. You know darn well you've got a ton more. This plateau, this level is not all you got going on. Now you notice we got a lot of green back here, but you notice we got a lot of blue here also. So blue, green, blue, green, blue, green. That comes up consistently in this story. I have no clue what that means. None. Universe, can you throw me out one other message in all this? I don't know what to say with all this. All these cards together came out in the same general kind of tilted, oriented angle, but not quite enough that I would say it's sideways. I would still take them upright. Five of Wands. This Leo's been more engaged with something else. The something else could have been, did this Leo get heartbroken by a King of Swords? Leo, Gemini, Aquarius. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Is that what happens? They were busy paying more attention to, got a Four of Cups, got a Four of Swords, got a Nine of Cups. Was a Leo trying to even do battle with someone who was freaking ice cold, either a boss or a lover that they couldn't seem to get on track with? I'm going to say could have been a boss that they loved or a lover that happened to be their boss. You notice the heart shape of the tree here. There was a lot of conflict, a lot of, I don't want to say wasted time, but I'm going to say a lot of mental energy and emotional energy spent trying to figure a cold king out. And if anything, this Leo might be regretting that they've spent a lot of their precious mental energy and emotional energy thinking about and arguing with or engaging in, mental battles or battle of vocabulary with somebody who is ice cold. And I think then they had to spend quite a bit of time. A four comes up twice, so maybe as long as 4 years, they had to heal from that before they could get to this place of happiness again. And I think the universe is just pointing that out. Leo, there was a lot of time when you were dealing, arguing, battling, gnashing your teeth because of some King of Swords. The King of Swords doesn't come across as bad, but this is probably the iciest King of Swords I've ever seen. I mean, the heart is literally on the tip of this, like a barbecue skewer, on the tip of the sword. And what sits behind them is a gigantic brain. And it's like they could have been really smart. And it could have been like, how can somebody be so smart but so freaking stupid? Like, how can they be a king? I want them, but why are they so freaking cold? How do you put a heart? They could have said things that were constantly like a skewer through the heart. I was like, how could they not know how unpleasant their words are? And I think Leo's entire energy, this is a Capitol building. So this is the most important building, like if you're in the United States, our Capitol building is really important in each one of our states, or Washington, D.C., our big Capitol building. Those are really important places, right? So that became the most important thing, the battles that Leo was engaged in, because they were trying to understand someone who kept hurting them or being ice cold. And I think Leo then went into a phase of regret because it's like, this is just never going to change. I don't think I can deal with somebody who keeps skewering my heart. And still, as smart as they are, they can't comprehend that that's not working. Now I regret that I spent so much time trying to figure them out. Now, got to heal from that. And then finally our Leo gets there. And this is where the universe comes in like the big blue genie from Aladdin and says, would you like some wishes to come true? Once again, we go to blue. Okay, so maybe the blue door is the right path for our Leo. Maybe Leo is meant to be in the public eye. They're meant to be a star. Maybe that's it. And they need to acknowledge that. The blue door. Okay, there. I'm saying it. That's what we're going to go with. Now they get to choose. The Leo could choose a more humble life. It would be one where they keep their feet on the ground and they work possibly a little more, I'll say they work harder, but they do, there's a lot of trade-off for that as well. There's a lot of fertility. Maybe they'll have babies. Maybe they'll do other things with their life as well. That there's a lot of fertility. But I think in this storyline, everything leans me more toward Leo's supposed to be famous. Their wealth and is supposed to come along with Stardom. Sorry, that's just what I got this time around, guys. Our character always gets to choose. These are fictional stories, but I hope you guys enjoy the storytelling for what it is. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you again, Janelle. Hi, Lena. Hi, Star Wishes. Sherry, great to see you, sweetie. All right, guys, I'll see you again in the next ones. Bye.